Hello and welcome everyone to the Ezira Hangout number 4 with your host Harrison McLean, where we talk about everything to do with the Ezira project and how the project is developing going forward, and how you can join in, how you can help out, and how everyone around the world can take part in this social media and cryptocurrency revolution that we're building here at Ezira. So firstly, we'll get into the Ezira introduction. So for everyone who's new here, you might be wondering, what is Ezira? So Ezira is a distributed platform. It uses graphene blockchain software and the delegated proof of stake consensus mechanism to record posts and transactions. Files are linked into IPFS, which are then hosted on supernodes. Ezira is a social media platform where users can post any text or files to boards, profiles, and pages. Board posts are sorted according to votes and views, and they're weighted by a stake in Ezira and Ezira Power. Feeds are sorted by votes and views when received from a followed or connected account or a subscribed board. Premium content can be encrypted and can request a micropayment. Ezira is a decentralized exchange where trades between any user-issued assets and smart coins with no trading fees on maker orders can take place. Assets can receive revenue streams from specified sources directly. It's a peer-to-peer marketplace where any business account, whether you're a multinational corporation or a sole trader, can create a business account and list products for sale on a store page with and they can purchase items without any transaction fees. There are small fees for mediation. So today's Hangout agenda is coming up next. We have the project updates. Then we'll have the Ezira Explainer video and discussion, followed by the Ezira RSVP thread topics, which you can see at steemit.com/trending/Ezira. We'll have a crowdfunding guide so you guys can learn how to make your purchase of Ezira to take part in this social media and cryptocurrency revolution that we're building here by holding some Ezira, and you can become a proud Eziran and a member of the Ezira community by purchasing some Ezira from the BitShares decks. We will have the announcement for the video competition. So over the last week, or so, the Ezira community has been working to spread the Ezira Explainer video on Twitter and Facebook. And so the winner of that competition will be announced in this Hangout today. Then we'll go into this week's featured application from the business and application case, and that's going to be decentralized music production. Then we'll go into the Ezira Sharedrop summary, where I'll talk about the changes to the Ezira preliminary ICO structure and the Ezira Sharedrop structure. Then we'll have some questions and answers and general discussion after that. So we'll go into the project updates. So Ezira's project updates this week are restructuring the preliminary ICO. The Ezira preliminary ICO hard cap has been increased to $1 million to accommodate a higher production value by increasing the price of Ezira from 50 cents each to $1 each after 200,000 units are sold. Purchase your Ezira early to take advantage of this change. The price increases by 10 cents per Ezira for every 200,000 Ezira sold afterwards. 10,000 Ezira will additionally be distributed to all direct contributors of funds to the Ezira account each week. This will be the Ezira weekly auction, and that will conclude every Sunday after each Ezira Hangout starting next week. All contributors to the Ezira account of whether it be BitShares, BitUSD, or any open ledger supported tradable currency on BitShares, all contributions to the Ezira weekly auction will be converted directly into Ezira at a market price depending on the volume of purchases that take place in that week. So they will be converted at the current price at the end of the week and divided up between all of the entrants into the Ezira auction each week. So for those familiar with the EOS project's fundraising mechanism, this is a similar mechanic to that, except it will be using the BitShares decentralized exchange instead of an Ethereum ERC20 token. So that will be taking place starting next week. So everyone who contributes BitShares or BitUSD or any other currency to the Ezira account to take part in the Ezira weekly auction will receive a share in 10,000 Ezira per week. So that means if there are, for example, 5,000 BitUSD sent to the Ezira account in that week, then each Ezira will be distributed at the price of 50 cents each. But if there is less than $5,000 contributed each week, those who do contribute to the auction will receive their Ezira at a price that is below the market exchange rate. So that means that a small amount of Ezira is up for grabs at a below market rate to encourage early contributions and to find the market price of the Ezira asset. So going forward, the Ezira white paper update. The Ezira white paper has been updated to include changes to the preliminary initial coin offering structure, governance, recovery addresses, liquidity array assets, community issued assets, and much more. So we'll go into that at length during the discussion section later on. And I'll tell you all about the changes that have been made to the Ezira white paper. And you guys can let me know what you think of the changes. And the next update is the Ezira Hangout is now Spanish. So this is a fantastic advantage community now to have 2 languages of Ezira Hangouts. That's a fantastic work done by Dan Val and Chucky Fucky with the assistance of Brian Gav. Thank you to the Ezira Spanish team, also known as the Bitcoin CAS, Beyond Bitcoin CAS team. So the Ezira Hangout now is a Spanish version hosted by Dan Val and Chucky Fucky. Ezira welcomes the Spanish community and appreciates the work of the Beyond Bitcoin CAS team. Thank you to everyone who's helped out make that into a reality. Okay, so next up what we're going to have is the Ezira Explainer video. So this week the Ezira community rallied around the Ezira Explainer video and made it the most viewed video on the Ezira YouTube channel. So we'll go into the Ezira Explainer video and then we can discuss it afterwards. So it explains the reasons why people are having problems with current social media platforms, particularly Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. The demonetization crisis on YouTube has been rather extensive, and Ezira plans to change that. So imagine if there was a social media platform that didn't depend on advertising for revenue, was a global protocol to post freely without censorship, had memberships for a premium experience, encrypted all private user information hosted on distributed file storage, and had a global permissionless operating team constantly elected by the users. So on Ezira you can post anything, trade anything, and build anything. So that means that Ezira combines the ability for a business to raise funds to start an entrepreneurship project, then advertise that project on their social media built-in account, and then sell those products directly to other users of the network in a peer-to-peer way without requiring a central third party. Ezira has a 3-tier account system where users can use profile accounts, persona accounts, or they can post anonymously. So Ezira includes a decentralized exchange where anyone can make user-issued assets, and now in the white paper, community-issued assets. So that means every board and group can have their own built-in cryptocurrency. Trades are executed on a global public order book. Cryptocurrency payments are free, and they're confirmed in 3 seconds on graphene blockchain technology. So there'll be a peer-to-peer marketplace for users and businesses to either sell their products from their store page or from their profile account as a product post, and they'll be tradable directly for every Ezira network cryptocurrency. So it's important that Ezira is built on 3 principles of freedom, transparency, and community, because that's what we're trying to build here. A free and transparent community all around the world. Then it goes into how the content will be stored using IPFS, which is a distributed file system. Well worth reading about IPFS. It's used to great effect on many applications, and it's growing every day. So the Ezira crowd sale is open to all on BitShares. Preliminary and main ICO contributors will receive an allocation here on and early access to their Ezira account. And to learn more, you can visit Ezira.io to sign up and earn 1 Ezira for free, and you can read the Ezira outline, white paper, and investment thesis to learn an in-depth understanding. And you can build your next world with Ezira. Okay, so getting back to the Hangout. It's great to see a few new people here. It's really great to have you here. So has everyone seen that Ezira Explainer video before, or is that the first time that some of you guys have seen it? So has anyone not seen the video? You can check it out on the Ezira YouTube channel, and it explains the network fairly succinctly. And what I'll do is I'll just drop that in the chat for everyone who hasn't yet seen it. Okay, so there's the video for everyone who hasn't seen it. I'd recommend checking it out because it describes pretty simply and pretty quickly what the Ezira project aims to build. And in the next iteration of the video, this is the first iteration. The next one is going to have a voiceover and be a lot more impactful. And it'll have some exciting visuals to really make a flashy impression of the Ezira network project. So that's the first one. If you want to check that out, the link is in the chat, and it's on the Ezira YouTube channel for everyone watching on YouTube's live stream. So we'll go into the next topic after we have had some questions. Does anyone have any questions about the Ezira video or anything that we've discussed so far about the project updates? So
possibly have done.
Okay, go ahead one at a time. Stan Power, you can go first. Yeah. Yep. So I figured that the EOS structure was a very, very economically sound way of doing it that gives you a lot of things at the same time. Number one, it allows you to find a market price for the asset instead of having a fixed price. It also enables you to have the ability to raise funds in a fair way without having a cap on the amount that you can raise. So it sells all the equity over time, over a fixed period of time, for whatever the market is willing to pay for it. And I think that that's really critical that Ezira find a market price for its equity and conduct the ICO over a longer period of time, so people have long enough to read over the project material, read over the GitHub repository, read over the application specifications, what we're trying to do here, analyze the team, and to get as much insight as possible when they make their Ezira investment decisions, to read the Ezira investment thesis and things like that. So we're going to be shifting the main ICO structure to a 3-month distribution period auction, where there will be 20,000 Ezira issued every 23 hours. And each one will be distributed between all the contributors of cryptocurrency to the Ezira BitShares account. So for anyone who doesn't have a BitShares account, you can make one at Ezira.io, follow the links there, or you can go to OpenLedger or any other BitShares wallet provider. So BitShares is a great cryptocurrency that I've been following for quite a few years now, and it's where I chose to build the Ezira project because I'm very confident that that it's going to be a very important and powerful cryptocurrency going forward. I'm confident in the BitShares community, and I'm confident in the decentralized exchange to allow anyone anywhere to purchase Ezira without having to go through exchange KYC, which makes it available to a wide variety of people all around the world, even if you don't live in a developed country, if you're in a developing country, if you don't have government ID documents, if you have internet, you can use BitShares. It's that simple and it's that easy. So that's why I chose BitShares to bring Ezira to the world without having exchanges act as gatekeepers and take, to be quite frank, an unfair amount of money in what they charge for exchange listing fees. So BitShares is the way for anyone to make it without it requiring an exchange listing fee, and where every exchange that plugs into BitShares can also plug into your asset with whatever market pairs you choose to activate. So if you can name me another exchange that I can list an asset and directly have liquidity with over 7 or 8 different currencies, which Ezira now currently has. We've added some new liquidity pairs to the Ezira asset, so it's now available for trading on open.eos, open.steam. And also there was a suggestion in the Telegram that I quite liked, and we've opened up a BitCNY, so it's BitCNY Chinese renminbi. Ezira is now directly tradable for 50 cents worth of Chinese bit renminbi on the exchange right now on BitShares DEX. So it's trading against every major cryptocurrency on the BitShares DEX. So no matter what you have, you can deposit it on BitShares without requiring any deposit limits, withdrawal limits, and you can make your purchase of Ezira without having to go through a smart contract interface, without having to register a complicated string of keys, as in the EOS project. We'll just be having a BitShares account. Will be Sharedropped onto the Ezira blockchain, and that's how everyone's going to get their Ezira. No signups, no distribution list, none of that complicated stuff that is a barrier to entry to the global social media community, because Ezira is about people first. Technology is a tool that people use to empower themselves, not to create barriers around the world. That's what we're trying to do here at Ezira, to build bridges and to connect the world in such a way that it is beneficial for everyone and not just some select people at the top of a corporation. Because at Ezira, everyone here can be part of the management team, everyone can be part of the operating team, and when the network goes live, everyone can be a developer, a marketer, a witness, an advocate. We've had new marketing team members and advocacy team members join today. And I welcome Samest and Marshall Life to the Ezira team, as well as the members of the development team, Barney and Oscar Chambers. Shout out to a fantastic moderator, Steam Power Picks, and shout out to our resident Diamond Ezira and contributor of over 10,000 Ezira to the campaign, Google Dark. Thank you to everyone who's part of the Ezira team, who is currently making this possible. I cannot do it without you. Thank you to you all. And we'll go on to the Ezira RSVP thread topics. So for today, on the RSVP thread, there were a few things that were brought up, and that was the mainnet launch date, the potential competition between Ezira and Steemit, and how to join Ezira. So what we'll do is we'll head over to the Ezira thread for the Hangout, and that was over here. So what I'll do for everyone in the Discord is I'll drop a link to the Ezira Hangout thread so that you can all take a read of some of the things that were posted to the Ezira Hangout thread this week. So I'll leave that link here for everyone. And we will head back over. Okay, so some of the topics that were brought up this week are okay, so first question is, what is the mainnet launch day? Okay, so that's a very important question, and the answer is the mainnet launch day is to be determined. So the mainnet launch day will be taking place when the Ezira testnet has been sufficiently audited and checked for code validity and made sure that it is bug-free or as close to bug-free as humanly possible before we launch it to the mainnet. So the testnet needs to be developed first, and the mainnet launch day will be announced at the conclusion of the Ezira preliminary ICO. So at that point, the mainnet launch day will be set approximately 1 year from the completion of the Ezira preliminary ICO, and in that time, the testnet will be released, and the testnet will be used by all of the applicants to the Ezira mailing list. All of the holders of the Ezira asset will be able to import their addresses and their cryptocurrency onto the Ezira testnet, where there will be a trial run of the balance drop for all of the share-dropped currencies. All of the share-dropped coins will be included in the testnet release, and you will be able to use the testnet when that is completed. And the mainnet launch day will take place approximately 6 months from the testnet release, once the project is up and running and live to go. So pretty much order of things is going to be the Ezira preliminary ICO will be completed. Then the timeline is on the Ezira website, so we can go over to the Ezira website to see the timeline directly. So I think we might bring up the Ezira timeline, which is in the Ezira outline for anyone who hasn't seen that yet. It's in the Ezira outline, but the Ezira timeline is as follows, and this is tentative at this point. It could be faster, it could be slower, but this is the timeline that we are aiming for the project to be completed. So it all depends on how fast the Ezira project can raise the seed capital it needs to start hiring developers on a full-time basis. But we'll go into the expected timeline. So at the approximately around the end of Q3 of 2018, the Ezira preliminary crowdfunding campaign will be completed, if not sooner. In Q2 of 2019, so that's in approximately 1 year from now, the Ezira testnet will be released, the Pioneer release as it's called in the Ezira white paper. So that will include the Sharedrop balance, that will include a minimum viable interface for producing posts to the Ezira blockchain. It'll include the ability to create and trade user-issued assets, and it'll include the ability to make and use persona accounts. Profile accounts will come in the main release. So the exact specifications of the Pioneer release in the Ezira white paper. So following that, there will be the founding executive board established from all of the Ezira team members that are the greatest contributors to the project. They will be selected as founding executive board members. in Q4 of 2019. So that's 1 month, not 1 month, 1 quarter after the executive board is founded. There will be the main initial coin offering, and that is going to be changed. That will be an unlimited amount of funds over 90 days. But on this outline, it says 30 million over 30 days. So that's going to be updated shortly because the Ezira white paper was updated today to reflect that. And then approximately at the start of 2020, so that's in about 18 months from now, we will have the Ezira mainnet blockchain launch. So that is the tentative timeline for Ezira at this stage. This is all dependent on the project gaining the funding it needs, finding the developers it needs, and building out the audience that it needs. So everyone here can help to make the Ezira project build faster by sharing the Ezira Explainer video, bringing new people into the project, as some fantastic people have been doing on the Ezira Telegram. And thank you to everyone who's inviting new people to the Ezira Telegram, and to everyone who's helping to grow the project. So to help this project grow faster, we will be announcing the Ezira Bounty Program. So that's on Ezira.io now. We'll go over that shortly. And that includes a full description of all the bounties that are available for everyone who wants to earn Ezira for helping out the project in these early stages to grow. So we'll go over that in a moment. But next question we have is from Cortex on Steemit. And Cortex says, I hope this ain't a real threat to Steemit, though competition is a good thing to make the development faster and easier for a user to make money and to post their ideas technically. But I'm still looking forward to this platform called Ezira. I wonder how it goes well. So to answer the crux of your question there, Cortex, Ezira is not a threat to Steemit. Ezira is a collaborator with Steemit on the journey before us to revolutionize social media. We are not competing with Steemit. Airdropping. We'll be share dropping. Yes, that's a bit of noise in the Discord there. Can we? Thank you. There we go. So I'll pop that one on mute. Okay, so getting back to the discussion questions. So the competition between Steemit and Ezira. Ezira will not be competing with Steemit. Ezira will be working with Steemit. We will work with the Steam team and every Steam application to deliver a quality product and a great user experience to everyone across the entire world. We'll be building on the important advances of Steemit, and we'll be share dropping a significant portion of Ezira's equity onto every holder of Steem and Steem Power and Steem dollars. So we are not a threat to Steemit. We are the evolution of Steemit, and we are going to be share dropping heavily on every holder of Steem cryptocurrencies. We'll be basing the code base on the Steem code base, as it is open source software, and we will be making our repository open source, and all of our improvements and changes will be made available in full to the entire world, including the Steemit developers. So we have a few ideas about how to improve the model of Steemit to make it a bit more economically viable, a bit more mainstream viable, a bit more user-friendly, and we can go over those in the Ezira white paper when we get to some of the changes. So someone else, Tino Vision, has said, since it will have no censorship, that will have its own pros and cons, but the best part that it will allow to raise money, and the volume will be high since no transaction fees. All these make it a very great coin. Okay, so yeah, you are correct there. So no censorship is exactly what it says on the tin. So on the Ezira blockchain, there will be no transaction censorship and no post censorship on the blockchain level. On the application level, there will be many, many options for users to filter content that they do not want to see, and to filter out users who post content that violates some of the Ezira hardline tag rules. So there are no terms of service of Ezira, but in the Ezira white paper, there will be tags that are nominated as hardline tags that will result in the filtering from user applications, but not from the blockchain. So users will be able to post any transactions and any posts they want, but the public-facing domain name Ezira.io and all of our supported applications will have user filtering options to ensure that it's a pleasant experience and that it is manageable for the world to engage with. And coming up next, we have Andy Satria, HRP, and he says, how to join Ezira. It's a very good question, Andy. So how you join Ezira is you join the Discord, you join the Telegram, you can follow the Ezira account on Twitter, and you can subscribe to the Ezira YouTube channel. And all of those things can help you to join in the Ezira movement, and you can purchase Ezira on the decentralized exchange BitShares to take a stake, an ownership stake in the Ezira platform, and to earn a part of the dividends in Ezira coin that every holder of Ezira will be receiving. So that's how you can join Ezira. The testnet release will be made following the Ezira preliminary ICO completion. So everyone that is subscribed to the mailing list will receive an email when the testnet is available for you. And everyone who signs up with their BitShares address will receive 1 Ezira to their BitShares nominated account. So going forward, we have a few different discussions here from Lovely World. And Lovely World says, this is a very useful information for us in India, Indonesia rather. A global change is happening right now. We realize that Steemit is one of flat form, which is very different from other social media. All companies are connected here. I really hope to be part of this new platform, and I can develop together Steminals Indonesia later. I'm not sure what that's referring to. All businesses will be presented here and give great benefit to people all around the world. I'm very grateful to all the friends of the world who have created positive changes. We win together. It's a very good attitude to have. We win together. Next one says, Ezira is running a preliminary ICO on BitShares using the asset Ezira. Your information really good. Thank you, Eunice11. And then we go into the post that I made, which is about the Ezira video competition. So this was the image that I posted for the Ezira video competition to the Steemit thread. And I'll show everyone who hasn't seen it yet. This is what the Ezira video competition involved. To join, you needed to join the Ezira Telegram group at telegram/Ezira Network. You can learn more about Ezira at Ezira.io and enter your email and BitShares address to receive 1 Ezira. And you can retweet or comment your BitShares address below to receive an additional Ezira. So quite a few of you received an additional Ezira for helping to spread the word about the video competition. Thank you to everyone who supported us on Twitter and Facebook for those posts. And to enter the competition, people would post a link to the explainer video to Twitter or Facebook, tag Ezira and Ezira Network, and then link the post in the Telegram group to confirm their entry. And the post with the most tweets and shares, retweets and shares and likes wins 300 Ezira. 2 randomly selected entries will each win 100 Ezira. And the winners of the competition will be announced shortly following the rest of the agenda today. So that pretty much wraps up the Ezira Steemit discussion thread. We have a few more people asking when the mainnet launch day is. The answer is no date is set. It is pending the testnet development and release and testing and fundraising. The mainnet launch will be taking place after the completion of the Ezira main ICO. So there's a preliminary ICO, then a testnet, then a main ICO, then the mainnet release. So the main ICO will be taking place when there is clear and observable evidence of a working Ezira product to allow people to see what is possible and what will be possible going forward on Ezira. So to everyone who helped out with this Steemit discussion thread by upvoting and re-steaming, thank you. Thank you to all of the Steemit upvote services, the BidBot services that help to promote the Ezira network, and they are Build a Whale Appreciator, Post Promoter, Rocky, UpMe, Start, Steam. Shout out to Official Fuzzy with his upvote helping to promote the Ezira network. Thank you to all of the Ezira bidding bots that helped to promote the post on Steam, which is a little bit of an economically unsound model that upvotes can be bought and you can earn a profit. But only $300 was used to promote this post, and the Ezira community has responded with over $800 worth of Steam upvotes. So thank you to everyone who upvote the Steam thread every week, and I think next week we can make it to $1,000. I think we can reach $1,000 next week. If everyone goes to their Steam account and upvotes the thread every week, we can reach a brand new audience of people on Steam. There are a few shortcomings of Steemit that are addressed in the Ezira white paper, and I believe that the Ezira project can help to not only fix those issues, but to improve the entire experience with the addition of a built-in peer-to-peer marketplace, a decentralized exchange that allows for user-issued assets, and a wide variety of other features to help develop the business and application side of any cryptocurrency network. Okay, so getting back to the agenda this week. Okay, the next thing we have is the Ezira crowdfunding guide. Before I go into that, does anyone have any further questions about some of the topics that were raised in the RSVP thread section? Okay, so if no one has any questions, I'll continue with the Ezira crowdfunding guide and discussion about the updates that have been made. Okay, so getting back to the crowdfunding process. So Ezira is raising a total of 1 million on the BitShares Decentralized exchange. So every holder of BitShares and any BitShares assets has the ability to directly participate in the Ezira preliminary ICO. So we're using the BitShares platform because it offers a great deal more freedom for everybody to participate in the project. There's lower transaction fees, faster, more reliable transactions, and it is generally one of the best cryptocurrency platforms in the world that is available today. So I'd recommend that everyone check it out on its own basis, and that's why the Ezira project uses BitShares for all of our fundraising endeavors. So Ezira is actively trading on all BitShares-based exchanges, so they include OpenLedger. Shout out to OpenLedger, to CryptoBridge, and to GDEX are the three main Ezira exchange providers. So it's easy to purchase Ezira using BitShares, so it's not difficult. There are no smart contracts involved. If you can use a cryptocurrency exchange, you can purchase BitShares. It's that simple. You can purchase Ezira, rather. So to create a BitShares account, all you need to do is click on this link and you'll be sent to the right page, which is OpenLedger, where you can get started and create your BitShares account today. BitShares is a decentralized exchange blockchain. OpenLedger is a gateway provider. So unlike every other exchange you've used, unlike centralized exchanges like Binance, Poloniex, Coinbase, and many, many others, BitShares is a blockchain protocol for all exchanges to communicate with each other. So imagine if Binance, Bittrex, Bitfinex, all of them, if they all had the same order book, imagine how much volume and liquidity they would have if they all shared their order book with each other. That's the idea behind BitShares. It's a blockchain for every exchange to connect to one another and make all of their trades in an open, transparent ledger where there can't be any fake exchange volume, where there can't be spoofed assets, where there can't be fractional reserves on assets, when they are issued correctly by a gateway provider, and all of those are verifiable on-chain. So with other centralized exchanges, you can never be quite sure they aren't fractionalizing their reserves. But with exchanges like OpenLedger, you can be sure that any BitShares-based exchange isn't fractionalizing their reserves because you can check their balances and all of their incoming and outgoing transactions. So to get Ezira, you deposit your coins, whatever they may be, whether it be Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, BitShares, Steam, Ethereum, and many, many other coins. You can trade all of those coins once deposited onto the BitShares exchange for Ezira on any of these market pairs, and there will be more added shortly, because as of today, Ezira is now trading directly against the BitCNY, Open.EOS, and Open.Steam. So we have 3 new market trading pairs for everyone in those communities to use those assets to purchase their stake, their share in the crypto equity of the Ezira network. So there are those 5 buttons which link you to the exchange pages of very, very reputable BitShares-based decentralized exchanges where you can make your purchase of Ezira in a matter of minutes. So no hours of research. How do I do an ICO? How do I send Ether to an ICO? What's this about? A contract address that I need to put into my Ether wallet. None of that. You just go to BitShares, deposit whatever coin you'd like, and you buy Ezira directly from an exchange and not a smart contract where you have to look on Etherscan and Ether, all the other Ethereum smart contracting platforms that are a bit clumsy for the average person to invest funds in. BitShares is very, very straightforward and simple for anyone to use and requires no KYC checks. That's right, no KYC checks at all. So it's easy to create a BitShares account. All you do is go to bitshares.openledger.info. There's a link on ezira.io. You click create account. You click use the wallet model so you can save your private keys on your computer and you can access them at any time with a file saved to your computer. So you can create your own public account name on BitShares, which is your BitShares address. So you create a username, and everything you do on BitShares to receive any cryptocurrency on BitShares, you simply send it to a person's name. Not a complicated string of letters and numbers, just a username. Revolutionary stuff happening here. Your own name on a cryptocurrency. Instead of having to send money to QZ375 something something something, you just send it to Ezira. It's that simple, people. It's that simple on BitShares. You can back up your wallet file on your computer in a safe place. You can save it to a USB, and you can keep it in a safe in case you lose it. So a point to take note of is if the BitShares page does not load, simply change to a new API node. So on your exchange, if the exchange goes down, you panic. You panic, everybody panics, everybody sells because the exchange page is down. With Ezira, when one of the nodes that supports the exchange goes down, all you do is you change to another API node. It's that simple. Next, simply deposit your desired cryptocurrency into your BitShares account. And that can be either Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, BitShares, and recently now Steam, EOS, and also BitCNY are now supported. So you deposit your cryptocurrency onto your BitShares address, and then you use it to purchase Ezira from the market trading pair of Ezira to your desired currency. So on BitUSD, you will find the best price, but on all of these other cryptocurrencies, Ezira is available for purchase, and those market pairs will be liquefied and checked on a regular basis, and the price will be adjusted periodically with the changes in price to keep them floating at 50 cents BitUSD. So you can sell your cryptocurrency for BitUSD to get the best price by selling it for the BitUSD exchange pair, and then using those BitUSD to purchase Ezira from the decentralized exchange on the BitUSD to Ezira market pair, where the majority of the Ezira liquidity is held at this time. So the change that has been made this week to the Ezira preliminary ICO structure is the Ezira preliminary ICO will be raising a maximum of $1 million rather than $500,000. And we have added in an early contributor bonus period. So there is a seed price of 50 BitUSD cents per Ezira for the first 200,000 Ezira that is sold. So currently, approximately a quarter of that has been sold, and the remainder is on the BitShares DEX at 50 cents per unit. And after that, the price increases to $1 per Ezira. And then after that, per 200,000 that are sold, the price increases by 10 cents USD per 200,000 that are sold. So that's 200,000 at 50 cents, and then 200,000 at $1, and then $1.10, and $1.20, and $1.30. So that helps to incentivize early contributors and to price in the risk that people are taking by investing in Ezira early. So if anyone is considering investing in Ezira, it's best to do so now before the seed price funding round is completed at 200,000 Ezira distributed or 100,000 USD raised. So Ezira trades against Bitcoin, Ethereum, BitShares, Bitcoin Cash, and BitUSD, and now it trades against Steem, EOS, and BitCNY. And you purchase it from the trading exchange pair, and each holder of 10 Ezira is a silver Ezira that has the silver ICO contributor bonus of the silver Ezira status on mainnet launch. Everyone with 100 gets access to the gold Ezira ICO contributor bonus. 1,000 Ezira gets access to the platinum Ezira contributor bonus, and the few holders of 10,000 Ezira, so there can only be a maximum of 100 diamond Ezirans at this stage. Each diamond Ezira gets access to 6 months of free diamond membership on the Ezira blockchain when it is launched, and they also get access to a business account that they can create in the Ezira Genesis block at the very, very start of the network. So if you're a business owner and you want to take your place on the Ezira network, then you can purchase 10,000 Ezira and have the Diamond Ezira contributor bonus. And at this early seed price, you stand to get a significant portion of Ezira at a very competitive price. And there are 131 days of the preliminary ICO remaining, almost to the minute, and there are a little over 900,000 Ezira remaining for sale, and the price is currently 50 cents per Ezira at this time, and that will be increasing to $1. So these instructions are a little bit out of date. We will be doing the Ezira main ICO using a periodic auction periodic system, where every 23 hours, 20,000 Ezira will be distributed between all contributors to the Ezira crowdfunding campaign. And to join over 140 Ezira holders, you can make your purchase of Ezira on the BitShares Decentralized exchange today. And shout out to our Ezira maximum stakeholders. These are legendary diamond Ezirans, and they are iHash Fury, SL Bamba, and BitShares 2010. Thank you to our diamond Ezirans for your ongoing support of the Ezira project. Okay, so we will get back to the Discord Hangout. And if anyone has any questions about the Ezira preliminary ICO or any other questions regarding the project, then I will be answering those. Okay, so we have a few new people. Okay, so we've had a few questions asked. So the first one is from Emeka Collins, and Emeka Collins says, can we use paid promotion on Facebook to promote the video? That's a fantastic question. The answer is, unfortunately, I have tried to promote the Ezira project on Facebook, and I do get denied on the basis that Ezira is, according to Facebook, a restricted financial product. So I have tried to do that. That's why we need organic posting. Organic posting is the key. Paid promotion is not quite going to work for us, because we do, unfortunately for Facebook, compete with the centralized social media business model. And it's not in their interest to help us to grow. So if you are not a fan of Facebook, if you're not a fan of Twitter, if you're not a fan of the practices that they've been doing, not even about the information privacy, because everyone is mostly in control of their private information on Facebook with the privacy settings. The main problem that people really should have with Facebook is that they're not being paid. That's where it comes down to it. Facebook is profiting off of your content, off of your views, off of your friendship network, and they have a effective economic monopoly on the entire world's social graph. So the social graph refers to the set of connections between every person on Earth, and that social graph, the social graph is very valuable to anyone who wants to do any sort of analytics on human communication at scale, and anyone who wants to advertise to a wide range of people. Facebook's information and their data is held in a proprietary fashion, so that friendship connections or connections in general are held secretly, and they will give you access if and only if you pay them for their promotion. So what Ezira will do is make the social graph public, free to all, and open source. So anyone will be able to utilize the data on the Ezira blockchain, the public data that is, so private data will be encrypted and hosted on IPFS, but the public information in the public posts and the public connections between accounts, that will be available for every developer on the planet to leverage for their applications. So that'll be a great advantage to the Ezira blockchain platform, because we will make the world's social graph open source for the first time in human history. So getting back to some questions. Can we get Ezira on BitShares DEX, says Ecstasy, or Ecstasy, not Ecstasy, Ecstasy. The answer is yes, yes you can. You can go to the BitShares DEX at this point in time, and you can purchase EuroZero on the BitShares DEX for the current price in BitShares. So that's approximately 2 BitShares at this point, because BitShares has been on a very, very significant bull run for the last few days, and that is fantastic for the ecosystem. It's fantastic for every holder of BitShares, and it's fantastic for anyone here, because you will get EuroZero at a competitive price in BitShares, because your BitShares have appreciated in value. So going forward to some other questions, we have Acrid, and he says, I signed up with my email and BitShares account, but haven't received anything yet 1 hour ago. Okay, so I will say this one more time. The Ezira for email signups and Telegram invitations is distributed once per day. So please allow 24 hours for you to receive your Ezira from those bounties. Everyone gets 1 Ezira for signing up to the email list, and everyone gets 20 Ezira once when they invite 5 people to the Ezira Telegram group. So please be patient. You will get your Ezira. I will send it after this hangout. I've been updating the Ezira white paper all day, and I will be sending the Ezira soon to everyone who has applied for the Ezira mailing list. Thank you for signing up. You will be receiving your Ezira very shortly. I will send it very shortly. Okay, so going on to the Ezira video competition. So the Ezira video competition was hosted on the Ezira Telegram group. So everyone had the opportunity to post the Ezira Explainer video to Twitter and Facebook. And the post that had the most likes and retweets would be receiving a share in 500 Ezira. So I'll get that up and we will go through all of these submissions together. So we'll go up the list here on the Telegram. So thank you to everyone who's been inviting new members to the Ezira Telegram channel. We've undergone significant growth in the last couple of days. Thank you to everyone who's helping out to help the network grow. We have had Kid Ops make a submission there. So what I'll do is I'll go through the Ezira Twitter account, and we will find the one that has the most likes and retweets. So to join the competition, you needed to tag Ezira Network and Ezira. So we'll go through the mentions that have come up. And to the person with the microphone, could you please turn your microphone on, push to talk? That'd be great. And Twitter will be loading shortly. There we go. Okay, so we have had several entries this week, and we'll go through the ones that mentioned the Ezira Explainer video. Okay, so we have Pratiba with 1 like and retweet. Okay, we have Savita with also 1 like and retweet. Oh, here we go. We have Saurav Ganguly with 27 retweets and 28 likes, currently in the lead. Saurav Ganguly, everyone, is in the lead. It's a regular participant in the Ezira competitions. Thank you to Saurav for posting the Ezira video to a wide audience. Okay, we have Shubhashnu Rajoria. Shubhashnu with 12 retweets and 14 likes. So he's in second place. And we have Emmanuel Oluwatobi with 4 likes and retweets. 5 likes and 4 retweets rather. And we have Badmus Emmanuel with 1 like and retweet. And a few more. Emmanuel, another Emmanuel, and another Emmanuel. So there's three posts there. None of those have had more than 1 like or retweet there. So currently we have Saurav Ganguly in the lead. So this project has been open for about 3 or 4 days. This competition rather has been open for about 3 or 4 days. So in that time we've had quite a lot of people post the Ezira video. We've had quite a lot of great promotion for the Ezira network going on in this time. We have a screenshot from the video there. got one of the graphics. Fantastic use of the use case graphics there. We have Adiyanju Adekunle, I think is how you pronounce that, I'm not sure. With 1 like. And then from there, I think that might have been all of the time since it was released. Okay, so I think what we've got here is the winner is with a fantastic use of the use case graphic there by Kate Sealer. Kate Sealer, an aspiring model, loves beaches, cute dogs, and traveling. Fantastic promotion there. Okay, so I think at this stage we can call it for Saurav Ganguly in first place with, I think it was about 27 or 28 likes and retweets. Let's find Saurav's post again. Lots of posts here from Emmanuel. It's a strong effort put in there. He's posted it what looks like 5 times in a row. There we go. There's another one from Emmanuel. Some great work from Emmanuel here. Lots of different accounts too. So we have Shabashnu Rajora with 12 retweets and 14 likes in a strong second place. And we have Saurav Ganguly, here he is, with 27 retweets and 28 likes. So I think we'll call it for Saurav Ganguly, first place of the Ezira video competition. Runner-up rewards of 100 Ezira go to Shabashnu Rajoria with 12 retweets and 14 likes, and the 100 Ezira, the second 100 Ezira prize for repeated and ongoing effort, goes to Emmanuel, one of these Emmanuel accounts. I'm sure they're the same person. So the winner is Saurav Ganguly, and runners-up Shabashnu and Emmanuel. So to the winners, please contact me in the Ezira Telegram after this hangout, and I will send you your Ezira. Congratulations, everyone. Okay. So congratulations to everyone who won. To recap, winners are Saurav Ganguly, Shabashnu, and Emmanuel. If you're listening, congratulations. And I'll be in the Telegram shortly to distribute your Ezira prizes. Well done, everyone. Okay, so that's the winner of that competition. And then we will have the featured application up next. So up next is the featured application for this week. And this is in a similar tone to last week's featured application, but with a different angle on decentralized content production. And that's decentralized music production. So record labels as Ezira businesses. An independent music production company would be able to create an Ezira business account. Then they would be able to create and sell their business asset, a user-issued asset, on the Ezira DEX to raise funds for track production and to hire and promote rising music artists. So they'd be able to create music production assets. Each record label's asset would be programmed to be bought back from the decentralized exchange with incoming revenue from premium content sales of song and album downloads, and from free streaming songs from content rewards. Rewards would also be earned from the Ezira Premium Partners program, as members use their free allocation of premium content balance to purchase premium tracks and albums. A large share of the revenue from the production of music can be automatically distributed to the artists seamlessly and instantly. Distributed returns. The value of the asset would increase when the music production business earns a profit from sales and content rewards. They could pay their artists with equity in their record label in addition to other revenues to incentivize positive contributions to the business and provide an interest in its success. So this would not be competition for the Muse blockchain. This would be a way for potential users of the Muse blockchain to earn monetization on Muse as well as Ezira. So the thing with content production on blockchain social media is that you can post your content across multiple networks. You don't have to choose one, you can post to all of them. So this doesn't compete with Muse. This helps Muse because everyone who uses Ezira can also use Muse, and everyone who uses Muse can also use Ezira. So that's that sort of there. So essentially, artists could create their own record labels, and record labels could manage their business using the Ezira blockchain. And what Muse doesn't include is, to my knowledge, the ability to actually fundraise for a musical production. If anyone knows a bit more about the Muse project, I'd be interested to learn a bit more about it. I know vaguely that it's a graphene project that uses music monetization. I will need to look into that project a bit more closely. That's right, Steam Power Picks. The goal is cross-chain synergy. We all benefit more if we find the bridges between platforms, and not just find them, if we build the bridges between. So Ezira in the wallet will be including the ability for everyone to import a Steam account and to cross-post all of the posts that they put onto Ezira to Steam. So it is not competition with Steam, it is collaboration with Steam. The same would be true of Muse. When it goes to a live mainnet state, it would be possible for all Ezira content that is hosted on the Ezira Supernode network to be referenced over the IPFS protocol, and then hosted on Muse as well as Ezira. So yes, it will you'll be able to import your Steam account into Ezira because there will be a Sharedrop to all holders of Steam on the Ezira mainnet blockchain. So that means that not only are we not competing with Steam, we are offering a share in 10% of the equity of Ezira to every user of Steam. And that includes the management of Steam as well. So one of the small shortcomings of Steam is the fact that the currency Steam is held in quite a large supply by the Steam developers. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but for the distribution of the currency, it's not quite what users are looking for. So because they hold a large percentage of Steam, the developers of the Steam platform at Steam.inc will be receiving a significant share drop of Ezira equity for their fantastic work in developing, in my opinion, the best blockchain social media platform on earth. They are the inspiration for Ezira, and I will not be competing with them. I will be offering them a share in Ezira's equity using their open source code, which has been made freely available, building on top of their advances, working with them in whatever respect is appropriate. The same courtesy would be extended to the developers of the Muse platform. In the blockchain ecosystem, we don't need to compete. We're here to help each other, to work together, to build bridges between each other. Every blockchain can work together with each other, and on Ezira, all of those blockchains will be able to trade their assets using gateway assets. Every blockchain will be able to reference Ezira's IPFS files and use Ezira's file storage as a matter of hosting the files without requiring centralized image or video storage to be used, because every application that uses IPFS is able to seamlessly and costlessly share its files with every other IPFS application. Ezira will be providing a huge economic incentive for the storage of content on IPFS. So every single IPFS application that includes DTube, DSound, DLive, and if Muse uses IPFS, then that will be included as well. But any application that uses IPFS will be able to leverage Ezira's file storage system on supernodes with IPFS. So that's that's the decentralized music production. That's the featured application for this week, and that'll be included in the Ezira business and application case, which is going to be released in a couple of weeks' time when it is complete. This is the more simple end of the applications that I have in store for this release. There will be more complex ones to come. This is the more simple side of the applications that are going to be in this release, that are going to be described and made available to the entire Ezira community. And the Ezira entrepreneurial space will have access to all of these ideas and all of these franchisable businesses that will be able to be replicated in every country across the world, including fiat currency gateways. We will make it very simple for people to start a fiat currency gateway against the Ezira network assets. We will make it very simple for people to start a wide variety of franchisable businesses on the Ezira blockchain that can be replicated across the world, and these are going to be described in the Ezira business case, with the initial businesses that are going to be made at launch and administrated by the same team as the Ezira development platform. So we go on to the next part of today's Hangout, and that will be the Ezira Sharedrop summary. So we'll go over to the Ezira Sharedrop summary, and we'll go over the changes that have been made. So I mentioned some of these before, but the Ezira Sharedrop will be happening on 10 cryptocurrencies. So if anyone is familiar with the Bitcoin private project, they sharedropped onto Z Classic and onto Bitcoin. So they merged two communities. So this is the antithesis of a blockchain fork. This is a share drop onto multiple blockchains to bring those communities together. So instead of forking into two coins like a blockchain might do, Ezira is a combination of the unspent transaction output set for 10 different cryptocurrencies. They will all be able to import their balances and bring in the largest ever community to a cryptocurrency project by share dropping on 10 different coins. So on the mainnet release, everyone will be able to import their existing wallet keys into the Ezira open source secure client-side application, and from there they will be able to generate a transaction to claim their share drop allocation and transfer it to their Ezira account. This will be fully replay protected, so there will be no chance of replay attacks across chains, and it will not communicate with the Ezira servers in any way, shape, or form. And your private keys from your existing accounts will not be managed or held in any way, shape, or form off of your own computer. You will sign the transaction on your computer, and then you will claim your balances in the Ezira Sharedrop. It'll be 100% safe in the case of importing your wallet private keys. And that code will be open source and verifiable and heavily tested before mainnet release. The Ezira wallet will be included in the node client and will offer wallets for transactions with all 10 supported Sharedrop coins. So all these imported wallets, once they're made, will be able to be used for transactions on each respective blockchain by using the Ezira application as a light wallet client. It will connect to full nodes on each respective blockchain, so you'll be able to send payments in each of these 10 currencies directly from your Ezira account. And they will include BitShares, Steam, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Core, EOS, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Dash, Monero, and Litecoin. So any and all holders of those coins will be receiving a share drop of Ezira upon mainnet launch. And you can read more about that in ezira.io/whitepaper. Okay, so that wraps up the majority of the content we have on order for today's Ezira Hangout. And now I open the microphone to anyone that has questions about the Ezira project or anything that we talked about today. Does anyone have any questions that they would like answered? And I'll also be checking the Ezira Telegram in case anyone's asking questions over there. Okay, so we've got a lot of people asking on the Telegram channel. They have registered and their username is such and such. All of your Ezira for registering on Ezira.io will be sent after this Hangout. I am batching it once per day because that is all being sent manually. So the BitShares address comes through to me, and I send those through manually each day. So I can't be spending all of my time sending those out to everyone instantly. It is one Ezira, so that'll be going through at the end of each day, and that is explained on the Ezira Telegram channel pinned message. So does anyone have any more questions about the Ezira project or anything that we discussed today?
Harrison, how are you? It's John Scott.
Hi, John Scott. How are you? I'm pretty good.
I asked you this before, but I just want to clear it up. Ezira name came from?
The name Ezira. I made the word up myself when I was designing the way the logo would look. I wanted it to have a Z and a capital sigma, so the A without a bar. I wanted it to have a Z and a capital A without a bar, and I developed the word Ezira to include those features and to look, I think, futuristic in the way it's typeset and written out. I then later became aware that it was the name of a town in Africa, exactly where, and it is also a girl's name in some countries of the world. So the name, I made the name up myself and found out later that it was a town name.
Okay,
so I hope
perfect.
that answers. Yeah.
Perfect.
So are you familiar with the town of Ezira, or do you know where that might be? That's in Africa somewhere, I think.
I'm going to find out. I'm going to make sure Samest finds it for me, and
Okay.
we're going to pinpoint it somehow. We'll get it.
Okay, yeah, because I found that out a little bit afterwards because I was going for something that I wanted a word that was completely new and hadn't been used anywhere for any kind of company, and was a word that could be essentially taken from nothing and built up into a brand instead of starting with two words and making a compound word out of something like Facebook or Instagram or something like that. I've started from scratch with a name that I'm going to build, and we're going to build into a brand that means freedom, transparency, and community for the entire world.
Yes, I love the name. It's beautiful. So you have no hookups with this girl Ezira, like not an ex-girlfriend or something like that, eh?
There we go. A town in Nigeria. Thank you, Ecstasy. Yeah, so it's a small town in Nigeria. That's right, Iron Monkey. Made-up words are better for trademark and copyright. It means that when the white paper was released, it's fairly it's a unique word that doesn't have to share search results or tag results or anything like that with any other word. It's unique, and it is original for the purposes of trademark and copyright. But that's not going to be the case because the name Ezira is not trademarked or copyrighted because it is an open source and free project. So the word Bitcoin is not copyrighted. The word Ethereum, that might be copyrighted, but I'm pretty sure Bitcoin's not. because it's an open source project and I'm not going to be holding any copyrights over anyone's heads. So I hope that answers your question.
Oh, definitely. Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Did you have a question, Samest?
Not really. I just want to say you came all the way from your country to come to Nigeria to pick a name. that's a very fantastic one.
Yeah. So the name Ezira, I thought of it out of an original creation of a new word that I wanted to sound futuristic and sound short but catchy, is what I wanted to aim for. And then when I found out it was a town, that was I was okay with that because it was a cool sounding name that had never been thought of. There was no domains claimed for it on IO, and it was fairly free space in the namespace of the modern lexicon. So does anyone have any more questions? So who is brave enough to ask another question before we close off the Ezira Hangout for this week?
Harrison, I think the obvious question is how Ezira is going to flow with the upcoming EOS launch. I know there's always been rumors about BitShares and EOS and what might happen there. Do you have any comment on where Ezira stands in all that?
So Ezira stands with the position that we will be share dropping on EOS. So a lot of applications are share dropping onto the EOS blockchain, and I think that's a fantastic thing to be doing to bring the EOS community into Ezira. We will be utilizing elements of the EOS source code when we develop our smart contracting aspect of the Ezira blockchain. We will be using the excellent share drop and distribution model that is used by the EOS funding campaign, whereby the periodic auction takes place where contributions get an issuance of of EOS or Ezira every 23 hours. That is a good model, and we'll be using that model for our mainnet ICO. We stand with the EOS community. I'm actually a significant EOS holder myself. Even before this, I was involved in the EOS Melbourne blockchain meetup at the Blockchain Center in Melbourne. I'm going to be helping to educate people about the EOS project, and I'm a big supporter of the EOS project in general. So we will be share dropping onto all EOS balance holders on the mainnet release of Ezira, and we now have an EOS trading pair open on the BitShares Decentralized exchange. So in terms of EOS and Ezira, we are partners in the global effort to bring blockchain to the world. That's how we stand with EOS.
All good answers. I guess what I'm curious about, and just thinking about Dan Larimer and him moving on from BitShares and Graphene, does that leave Graphene in the dust and like, hey, on to the new thing? And how does Ezira sit with that? Like, does Ezira move on to an EOS platform at some point?
If it becomes appropriate for the Ezira development team to refactor the Ezira protocol onto an EOS-like chain rather than using the Graphene protocol as the base, that is a definite possibility going forward. That is a possibility that we have thought about and will be continuing to think about as we go through the process of developing the testnet. And if the process of developing on EOS as an independent EOS-based chain becomes more viable than developing from a fork of Steem, we will make a determination at that time to switch to EOS if it becomes the right thing to do for the platform.
Thanks. I feel like the writing is almost on the wall for that one.
It may well be. There are a few elements of EOS, particularly in the malleability of the blockchain through a constitutional vote some of the other elements along those lines aren't quite in line with the immutable blockchain ideology that Ezira holds in general. But they're a fantastic project, and I look forward to potentially using the software platform of EOS to build Ezira. But at this time, we will be starting off as a fork of Steam. And does anyone have any more questions?
Yes, Harrison, this is EW. Is there any way I could participate in helping out with it, or is that relegated to just the core developers? And yeah, so that's my question.
Your mic was breaking up a little bit there, but I think I got the crux of your question. So is it possible for you to join the Ezira team is what you're asking?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, it is very possible to join the Ezira team. So if you want to take part in the development team of Ezira, that is definitely a thing that we can organize. If you contact me at harrison@ezira.io with your resume, experience, and things like that, and the position that you're looking for in the Ezira platform, then we can definitely have a conversation about that. And that goes for everyone else here as well. So Ezira's team is growing. Ezira needs full stack developers, experienced marketers, community managers, advocates, and we also need to be looking at early applications for block producing candidates. So if anyone runs a Steam witness or a BitShares witness, Ezira will need 50 witnesses to operate the delegated proof of stake blockchain network. So we are looking for everyone to take a position in the Ezira network, whether it be on the team or whether it be on the executive board or whether it be on the elected officers, reward pools for providing the Ezira network with resources and services. There is a place for everyone in Ezira. So please contact me over an email and we can definitely have a conversation about that.
Thank you.
Excellent. Does anyone have any further questions? What I'll also do is check the YouTube live stream and see if there's any questions there. Okay, so Ezira live stream chat is now enabled. So if there's anyone on the YouTube live stream that has any questions, I can answer those as well. So we're open to questions on Telegram, on Discord, and on YouTube live stream. If anyone has any other questions, I can answer those. Okay, if that's the case, then I think we'll go into the next part of the Ezira Hangout, and that is the general discussion. So some things for general discussion this week. We could talk about what people think of the changes to the preliminary ICO structure. Do you guys okay with the raising of the preliminary ICO to $1 million instead of 500,000, and the addition of early bonuses to reward early contributors? So anyone who holds some Ezira now will see that they have acquired it at 50 cents per Ezira, and that price will be increasing to $1 after 200,000 units have been sold. So this benefits all existing holders because you have been early contributors to the project. Your Ezira stake will be priced at a lower rate than some later participants in the process to expedite the crowdfunding process, and also allow a larger contribution from business partners to be brought in when I go to Hong Kong in 1 month to network and discuss the Ezira project with some significant figures in the Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash community. Yeah, so that was a decision that I was originally not planning to make. I originally wanted there to be a flat funding structure of 50 cents per Ezira, but that process has not delivered the funding that is necessary for this project to grow. So we will be having an early contributor bonus of essentially a 50% discount on the first $100,000 and an increasing price of 10 cents per 200,000 Ezira sold. So to everyone who is interested in purchasing some Ezira and getting their Diamond Eziran ICO bonus, you can make your purchase at ezira.io/crowd. Everyone on BitShares can take part. You don't need to go through KYC. There's no whitelist. There's no application form. You simply go to the exchange and you permissionlessly and freely purchase Ezira and exercise your economic freedom to fund projects to help the world and everyone in it succeed and everyone in it speak their mind freely and share information and value freely. That's what we do here at Ezira. That's what we're going to be doing going forward. And I think we'll wrap up the Ezira Hangout there. Thank you to everyone who has helped out the Ezira project this week to grow. We've had some significant, massive, amazing growth in this project this week. And I'm thankful for everyone who has made their part and helped out the network to grow. Thank you to everyone who's joined the Ezira team this week. Thank you to everyone who's made a contribution to the Ezira crowdfunding campaign this week. There have been a few of you. And thank you to everyone who is supporting the Ezira network by holding Ezira, by purchasing Ezira, and by sharing this project with interested investors, interested developers, and potential new team members. The Ezira project is growing, and we're here to enable everyone to share information and value freely. My name is Harrison McLean. Thank you all, and good night.